are you guys with the way that you guys are able, playing right now and finishing this season out, that you guys can, make a run once you guys get in there?
I think this whole year we've maintained confidence that we can be the team that we're showing we are right now. We obviously have a lot of work to do, but it's nice to have good vibes rolling into this part of the year. Try to, finish the year strong. A lot can happen with the seeding and all that, but we know it's going to come down to probably 2 games next week that can give us a chance to kind of reset and go win a playoff series. But it's the way that we're doing it, the way that we're playing at a consistent level. It's inspiring. Now we just kind of ride the wave until next week.
Draymond was talking about when I guess he got into there was a non-call on him that he was arguing with the ref, but he said Steph was right there and he kind of kept me in check or stood up for him. What was your recollection of that play? I think it was Austin Reeves across his mouth or his face.
Yeah, it's one of those we always talk about Draymond. They say walking the line, whatever that means. Showing his competitive side, he thought he got hit, said something. There's a little quick wall that was put up by, I think it was Justin. And no, it was Jason, I think. But anyway, it was a conversation that I felt like was fair on both sides, and once Draymond moved away, it was just like, hey, don't let it be a reputation thing. He wasn't disrespectful, he was just demonstrative, and that's fair game for a lot of people in the league. And at the end of the day, just move on. That's a message for Draymond, but for us to have his back when he's walking the line the right way, and he did that tonight.
Was that you just kind of diffuse the situation in a way?
For sure. And just make sure, I'm not going to ever tell Draymond at that point, as long as he's not stepping overboard, don't talk. But there is a moment where, okay, you made yourself heard, and now let's play basketball. And he did that to perfection. So he doesn't need a babysitter in that respect. Don't get that twisted. But it's, just trying to read the room, read the situation.
Hey, Steph. Steve has coached the team through a lot this season, including obviously Dre's suspension, asking Hall of Famers Clay, Chris to come off the bench, young guys' expectations. How would you evaluate just sort of how he has handled it all?
It's a very difficult job for sure, where you have a lot of options. I think for 3 years now we've been talking about the vets and the championship core and the young guys, and trying to mix and match and put the right lineups out there. Like you say, you dealt with availability problems all year, whether it's Draymond's situation or whether it's injuries. And you could probably argue that there's 8 or 9 guys that could be in closing lineups, could be in starting lineups. You got Trace in there now. The way JK's come on, there's just so many things to balance, and I don't envy that job at all, because it's difficult, and it's about managing people and keeping people, motivated to say, hey, whatever you're asked to do, go do it, and it helps the team. And he's very consistent with that message. So at the end of the day, I'd say he's done a great job of, balancing it all. And we're not in the best of situations, obviously, knowing where we are in the seeding, but the way that we've kind of tried to turn the season around and give ourselves something to play for has a lot to do with Steve.
Steph, once again, you guys are still right here. It doesn't matter, 1st seed, 11th seed, playing. After all the championships, is it different from year to year? You guys shot 64% from the 3 tonight. It just feels like the Warriors doing what the Warriors do. Is this when you just really lock in? Is it the same zone for you, or is it just kind of year to year the way you handle this part of the season?
It's year to year, because you have to evolve with what challenge faces this particular team. We're not the team of old, but that's okay. As long as you make the necessary adjustments, you have contributions from a lot of different guys that weren't a part of those championship teams, and they're coming to their own and becoming very reliable and consistent. parts of what we do. Like I said, we had a up and down year. We've had a lot going on. A tragedy on our team. Like I said, all the mixing and matching of lineups and stuff. But we have a pulse, and that's all we need. No matter how next week plays out, it's tough to compare it to the years of past when we're getting what do you call it? The little announcements. Oh, we've clinched the 10th spot in the play-in. Like, that's weird, but at least you have something to play for.
Steve was saying how in the past he's had to kind of hold his breath during the minutes that you're on the bench just to kind of see what happens. I'm curious what your mindset is, maybe not as of recent because the bench has been playing so well, but in those moments as you're watching the second unit play when you're on the bench, what's going through your mind of, the work I'm going to have to do when I get back out there, and how comfortable is it now seeing Chris lead this second unit and what they've been able to do?
I talk to Chris all the time, in games, out of games, just about how he controls a lot of that momentum and those stretches where he's running the second unit. And I think between him, Clay, and Trace, they have a really good connection and chemistry of how they're trying to create shots. All the plus minus followers and all that, like, there's a lot that goes into it, but CP's usually on the better side of that. And as of late, especially, the second unit has really given us a lot of life and a lot of confidence that no matter if it's protecting a lead or getting us back into a game. It happened in Dallas. Our starting unit was trash, and they brought us back in tonight. They weren't as good in the first half, and in the third quarter, they pretty much sealed the game for us. So, like I said, every year is a little bit different, and this year that's been one of our strengths, and that's why it's a total team effort and why we're going to need to continue that if we're going to have a chance in any type of playoff situation.
And for the seeding, Draymond said the biggest difference he sees between the 8 and 9 seed is he said you get 2 bites of the apple instead of 1. Clay said he looks at the Heat from last season getting the 8 and then making it all the way to the finals as inspiration. What do you see the biggest difference of that 8 and 9 seed?
First off, is just having 2 cracks at it. Like anything can happen in one game, good or bad. As an 8 seed, you do guarantee one home game if you, lose it in the first one. So I still don't know the math of how it all plays out, and don't really care really. It just matter for us just win these next 3 and see where we end up. But it's a big difference to have two cracks at it for sure. But we'll have confidence no matter where we're at.
Hey, Steph. Last one. Hey, Steph. As the years go on, that you get in the league, and you guys amazing in the 3 today. Like, how do you guys keep up the good accuracy throughout the years, all that, and the pressures for the team?
We have a lot of talent, a lot of skill. A lot for us is just about how we create shots and connect the game on offense and defense. Tonight in the first half, it was equal opportunity offense. Everybody was, stepping into open looks, and we have a lot of confidence no matter who's shooting. But Warrior basketball is the ball moving, players are moving, setting screens for each other, cutting off of each other, and that's when we're at our best. And there's a nice rhythm and flow to it. So tonight was a great example of that, and got to keep doing it.